What's up, duelists? I got a deck profile for you today. This is my Machina cat deck. I just put it together like a week ago and I really enjoyed it. So I'm just going to show you all the cards that are in it. It took inspiration from this, not inspiration, it's almost a carbon copy of a guy who top aided in like a tournament in Mexico. But I've really enjoyed it. It has like a combination of all the cards I like all into one. So without further ado, we got the 3 gear frame. He will search your fortress. Your fortresses and your Machina force. Machina fortress, if it dies by battle, it destroys the opponent's monster in return. And then if it's targeted by a monster card effect, I look at their hand, discard one. So it's just a really strong boss monster, 2500 attack. Yeah, and you use these Machina forces to pretty much monster reborn these from your grave. So if you have one in grave, you just pitch the force to the graveyard and he'll special the fortress. And you can also pitch the fortress itself to include the summoning condition for the level 8 discard. So you can do like these two, and then that will be enough to special him. Or a lot of times it'll be like 2 of these in hand. I pitch one, special the other, and I can pitch force, special the other for free. Yeah, that's the Machina part of the deck. You've got the 3 Ryko with the hamster. These will mill the fortress for you, and so that you have the opportunity to just like summon gear frame, get Machina force, right? And then pitch Machina force to special the fortress. These also deal with any problem cards in the back row or monsters that are just difficult to deal with. Just really strong utility with Ryko, and they synergize well with the fortress. And then the hamster is just the +1, the difficult body to run over. And yeah, I'm considering playing 2 of these just because how strong it is, and I do want to see him more in my hand more often than not. So yeah, I'm gonna look for space to add another one of these. The 3 Airbellums get summoned by the cat, right? This card I really like, even though people will say he's weak. 1600. To be honest, if he was 100 attack, I'd still run this card. I like the idea of ripping cards from people's hands. That's why I like the fortress so much. Also, say if you go like Rescue Cat, summon the 2 Arabellums. Ideally, you want to do that with another body on board, so like hamster, Ryko, so that you can like use them to special summon synchros. Because like at the end of the I think end of the turn they die, so you don't want to do that, right? You want to keep your board presence. But you can also mind and brain control their monsters, sync them off, and create bigger monsters with them. So like you would rip their hand first and then take their monsters, or other way around, and just go down. The Sangan, you pretty much summon or get the cat or hamster with Sangan. These are your big power cards, so you want to get to them as soon as possible. 1 Caius, a lot of times you just like summon gear frame, flip Ryko, flip hamster, and then instead of synchroing with those monsters, you can just summon a boss monster. Well, he's not really like a boss monster, but a really strong monster in its place. Can deal with anything. Usually you would target monsters with this. Let's see, 1 DD Warrior Lady. This is what the guy ran. I think it's okay. I think I prefer the hamster over this one. So I think that's what I'm going to do. 1 Gale, super strong synchro, gets over Stardust, anything 2500 and below. Caius, Bryonic, He's also a tuner. Super strong card. Yeah, why not? Gores and Trag, these come out a lot. They'll stop the OTK in its place. Tragodia, I tend to have a lot of cards in hand, so just because I hold on to my cards pretty tight unless I know I'm going to push for a win. So this card is kind of always live, and there's a lot of like different levels you can use too in your graveyard. There's 3s, 2s, 3, 2, 2, 3, 4, 7. You probably don't use 7 often, but you know, 2, 3, and 4 is pretty good. And then you can, you know, summon your clogged Airbellum or your one of Gale to special summon whatever you need. Oh, also the Sangan can get the Gale too. Yeah. Sometimes you need that shrink ability. You got your removal spells, Heavy Storm, Mystical Space Typhoon, Pot of Greeds. The grave fills up really quick, especially with your gear frame and your cats, Rykos, milling everything. You know, you can reuse your Machina Force, reuse your gear frames. You can use cat again by sending the air balloons back. Really strong. I was considering 3, but I think 2 is enough. 3 tends to clog the hand too much, so I think 2 is just right. 1 mind, 1 brain control. Super strong cards. You can use this to target the, you know, their face down, like Ryko, Hamster, whatever face down that could potentially block your way, you know, and you can sync with them. Also, you can like mind control, say like their Stardust, whatever, and then summon your Airbellums, rip the cards from their hand, find a way to get rid of the Stardust, or even if you don't get rid of the Stardust, you can still rip cards from their hand. That's why I like playing the Airbellum so much. Just getting that card advantage is fun for me. And also, if they like target Fortress with, say, Ryko, then I can look at any card in their hand and rip it too. So, yeah, mind, brain control, super strong cards. Book of Moon, strong utility, offensive, defensive. You can use it to protect your Fortress. You can use it to put down their like Stardust or strong monsters like Goyo or whatever. Yeah, I think you can probably run, or I could probably run more books. Probably have to play test it, see what I like. But I think just having the 1 is pretty good. 2 Bottomless, super strong card. Don't really need to explain it. 3 Compulse. This is the same thing as Book of Moon. This will protect your Fortress from getting like Deep Prison, Bottomless. So usually before I summon the Fortress, I have at least one of these face down, just in case something bad happens. So, but you can also use this to, you know, you wait for them to synchro all their stuff, and you just compulse it to hand. They use, you know, all their cards. You just use 1. I think it's a really strong card. If there's too many of these, if I feel there's too many, maybe I'll like cut this and add another book or something like that. But from the playtesting I've done, it's working out pretty good, pretty well. I like it. So 1 Dust Shoot is just kind of like a 1 card, I win the game type deal. You look at their hand, take their strongest component from it, and then for like the next few turns, you know what's in their hand. You're pretty much playing around it. You know if it's weak, you know if you need to wall up, you know, and be prepared for something. But usually if you're taking their strongest threat, then they're pretty vulnerable to being swarmed by, like, say if you have Gear Frame in hand plus Fortress, summon Gear Frame, get another Fortress, and then like pitch Machina Force, special 2 Fortresses. So you have Gear Frame, double Fortress, that's 5,000, 6,800 damage. They're almost dead. And you can finish them off with like Airbellums or whatever. Yeah, anyways. Solemn Judgment. This will protect your back row from like getting heavied. Just anything in general. Any problem cards that come up. Super strong. 1-dimensional prison. I I like D Prison, but the compulses help me more by protecting my fortress. If you don't have the fortress, you have a really hard time winning the game. So you need to protect him with the compulse. And then this could have been torrential, but I feel like I don't really want to torrential any of my stuff. So I'll just find a different way to control the board. So I'll just use the 1D prison. Starlight Road. You have these like bunch of traps in hand. You know, you can assume if someone's playing like setting 2 or 3 traps, then they have either like Solemn plus like say this, or they have Starlight Road plus this. That's at least what I think. Or a lot of times when people do set that much, I can at least deduce that they have a combination of those things. So the road is pretty nice. I like the card. People shit on it all the time, but I think it's strong, so I'm just gonna use it. Call a Haunted. You can special summon your Sangans, Airbellums, Fortress. You can summon the cat again to bring another Airbellum, Ryko. You know, a lot of good targets in the graveyard. You can get your Gale back. You know, sync with whatever is on board. Brain Control, Mind Control. It's just a really strong card, and a lot of times people don't expect it either for some reason. Yeah, anyways, last card, Mirror Force, super strong. Stops their big push if they don't get rid of it in time. Let's do extra deck. We got Catastor, Android. They go out pretty often because a lot of times we'll do like Airbellum plus Ryko. And then you can do like, say I'll just special summon the Android, and then I'll use Airbellum, Ryko, and then I'll probably use another Airbellum to sync on top of this for an 8-star. Because Android's not, I mean, she's strong, but she's, you know, a lot less useful than like an 8-star. Iroquois, this is pretty much only with Sangan plus Tuner. These 3 at least. But you can, it will come up often enough. So I like this card because if they like to wall up with tokens or whatever, or with, you know, just those weak monsters, then I can just pierce it, and then he slowly grows over time. So very strong. And then obviously you guys know Goyo, Brio, super strong cards. The Armor Master, we have the Gale on the board, or in the main. So say we summon Gear Frame, summon Gale, get Armor Master, and then they have to deal with this problem card, right? Black Rose for utility. Airbellum, just in case you don't have the Gale, this will be your Machina Gear Frame plus Airbellum, or Hamster plus Airbellum, or whatever you brain control plus Airbellum. He controls their hand. If they have 4 more cards, I think they pick one, was it? Place, no, they don't even pick. I place a random card from their hand to the top deck. I mean, they're gonna draw it anyways, so it doesn't matter, but like they don't get to see a new card, which is the big deal. 2 Stardust Dragons, 1 for synchroing, 1 for using with Stardust or Starlight Road, and you side 1 too. I side 1 at least, for like Icarus Attack, Heavy Storm, Black Rose, all those things. If you get creative, you can stop Absolute 0-2. It's not the best way to, but you know, it is a possibility. These you'll see less often. If you get to these 8-stars, it's because you summoned Ryko plus Airbellum, got to Android, and then synchroed on top of that. This one, this is gonna be hard. You can do Catastor plus Airbellum, or you would have to, you know, mind or brain control one of the dark monsters to get him out. If I had Plague in the deck, then you can do like Caius and Plague, but I don't run Plague just because I don't run that much mill. And then Mistworm, you have like Gear Frame, Ryko, Airbellum, yeah, or Gale if you really need. Usually you're not using 3 cards to like summon this card ever, but it's there for the option. Last, we have the side deck, 2 Dust Tornadoes. You can pop their, like oppressions, their back row with like bottomless deep prison, clear the way for your monsters. Pulling the rugs, it's really good for the monarchs. You can use it for debris dragon as well, debris dragon, or was that junk synchron, but it's mainly for like Caius and Ryza. If you pulling the rug their monarch, then it's gonna set them back pretty well, I think. At least, yeah, you don't want yeah, okay, so you don't want your cards getting Caius, because you need those cards to, like, you know, synchro, and you need your, you know, fortress to stay on board. So anyways, anti-spell fragrance slows down those like magic heavy or spell heavy decks, kind of like Dragon Turbo. Light Sworn, you can put this in. I'm just trying it out. I haven't actually like played it yet, but I like the idea, so I'm gonna try it out. I'll let you guys know what I think. And then one road, you can use this for, like, there's a lot of Blackwing players at my locals, so another road will help a lot in protecting my stuff. 2 Dyna, you pretty much establish your board, summon Dyna, and then you have a lock. And then they're gonna spend more time trying to get rid of this than your fortresses or whatever synchro you have on board. So this card is just super strong. They have to like get their like lightning vortex or monster that's bigger than, you know, 1200, and not only has to be bigger than 1200, they have to get past my back row too. So it's not the easiest thing for them to do. 2 Jujitsu Masters. I like it better than Snowman Eater. I think the Snowman Eater is a better card. I just like this card in general, so I'm gonna play it. It gives them a dead draw, right, with their monster. They don't get to see a new card. And once he's done using his effect, he's also 1300 attack, which I like a lot. And yeah, I like him, so I'm gonna play him. 1 cross out, even though I play Ryko and Hamster, I think it's worth it enough to like cross out their thing so that I can get their life points with Airbellum or whatever monster I have. Airbellum I like more because like I like to rip their cards from hand, so I think the 1 of it is good. I'll take the risk of like banishing my own stuff. I don't care. Like if I can get at their life points, I'm gonna do it. 2 Soul Release. I don't run any DD Crow. I just like casting this card for 5 other monsters in grave. Stops their avarice, stops their targets for deep debris, or, you know, the Light Sworns, gets rid of the names, because like they play like 8 to 9 names, and if you get rid of over half, they're gonna have a hard time playing that JD. 2 Threatening Roar. This is a new card I'm trying out. The meta right now is very like, they'll hold their cards and then just try to kill you in 1 turn. And if you can survive that turn, then you have an opportunity to swing back. So if they go off and they make their big play, someone, you know, their 10,000 synchros, you Threatening Roar, and you can come back and have a chance to win the game from that, because they're going to use all their cards, right? This will stop them in their tracks. Yeah, I think this card will see more play later on. I'm just gonna try right now because I like the card, and I think it has a lot of potential. Yeah, and that's all the cards that I have. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you would change. I'm always open to feedback. I'm not the strongest like duelist. There's a lot of things a lot of mistakes I make, a lot of like there's a lot of things I need to learn. So if you guys have something constructive to tell me, I'm open to hear it. Yeah, thanks for watching. Peace.